What's good, people in the world? Today it's Mega here, and we are back for week 7 of Star Atlas Chatter. So it was a very, very spicy week, to say the least. So we have to start off with the letter. So of course, Michael Wagner came out this week, I want to say it was like Monday, with a letter addressed to the community explaining that they had to do massive layoffs so that they could extend the runway and build out this dream of Star Atlas. So I'm sure it was a very, very tough decision, and also sad. However, with this mass reduction in force, they were able to extend the runway for over a year, according to Michael Wagner. So that's the good news, and we're going to get into some of that today. So let's jump right into it. Here we have the letter, and one of the things that was important to me, as soon as the letter came out, I was still bullish. I'm still thinking that they're going to be able to do this. And to be honest with you, I thought this tough decision should have came back in November, December 22. Of course, that's easy for me to say as an armchair CEO, but I thought it would have been better to just go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid, make Automata lean, mean, and ready to go, highly hyper-focused on producing content like they have been this year so far. But it is what it is. So we are here now. Hopefully it's not too late. I don't think it is. And some of the things that made me even more bullish after the letter was an interview that you have to check out with the Stash and Michael Wagner. So definitely look that up if you haven't seen it. Michael Wagner goes off, pulls no punches, but also at the same time, more importantly, he goes over in detail, what's on the horizon for Star Atlas. So that right there made me extremely bullish, kind of put everything in the rearview mirror and looking to move full steam ahead. Also, which was even more important to me, was a statement that he came out afterwards in the Discord, Michael Wagner, and he says this, I'll read it to you. This just put the icing on the cake for me. Got through the full refresh of financials after the restructuring, and we look good for 18 plus months of runway without any investment or major revenue event. Feeling insanely good right now. We also locked down some incredible talent retention with Vert Paint, Spearsoft, and the Lost Pixels. We still have 36 people working on the Unreal client and within product team. The dream is alive and well. And also, disclaimer here, gotta add this as well. He went on to say, for sure, and just to be clear, there are still caveats in there. There are no guarantees in life, but this is true. I do feel extremely confident right now, onward and upward. So there you have it. That's basically the sentiment that I'm working off, and I'm looking to move full steam ahead. So as you know, we got to get right into it now, Empire Builders. Let's go into it. So we had the town hall chatter. So the letter came out, the Michael Wagner and the team came out with a town hall chatter on Wednesday, answering questions and giving us more details on the path forward. So here's just a tidbit of some of the takeaways that I found. So first off, what we've been calling Rec and Sage is really getting kind of confusing, but all that stuff is pretty much going to be lumped into Sage Labs. And what Sage Labs is, and I'm going to read it, is the internal tool the team built to do all of the initial play testing before they roll out the actual Sage product environment. And it is all of the programs and all of the game mechanics that are executed in Sage. Okay, so what is this going to include and what we know so far? You will still need a ship to play, of course, expected to go live in roughly 3 weeks. It will be a 2D basic UI format as compared to the Starbase gameplay trailer recently released. So it's not going to be like that gameplay trailer we saw the ships moving around and things like that, the nice kind of 3D. It's going to be a very, very light UI, but we're going to be able to do just about everything in it. So let me continue. Sage gameplay will include fleet management, inventory management, extraction and crafting system, and reward tables. Basically everything except for combat, which will come later in a couple of months, according to Michael. And all of mainnet in a real economic environment with real economic outcomes. So it's basically the whole game, what we're looking to do to get into the marketplace and trading and selling and crafting and having our own real world metaverse economy. So that is excellent news, and we're just 3 weeks away. It's so close. So hopefully those 3 weeks go by fast and there are no more delays as well. So also within this new Sage Labs, there's going to be a huge promotion. Michael Wagner hinted at this a couple of weeks ago, and it's going to be a new Star Atlas promotion worth a total of $1.5 million. And how it's going to be dished out is there's going to be a weekly competition. So let me read here. Again, yes, of course, you're going to need at least one ship to play, but loot redemption will be based on crafting tables and components that you will combine to redeem for an item or enter into a raffle system with golden tickets. So you'll be crafting either modules or you have the opportunity to craft golden tickets that you could use to be put in a raffle. So golden tickets will be craftable, and each week there's going to be a drawing worth of loot of $150,000 worth of loot or Atlas, just a chunk of Atlas. So that is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not much of a RNG drawings and raffles and stuff like that. So if anything, I'll create raffles or craft raffles to sell them off to people who want to, roll the dice on that stuff. But that's just me personally. It should be fun no matter which way it goes. Okay, so Discord chatter, fleet cargo, some of the questions from the community now. Does the sum of cargo modules for each ship in flight equal the fleet's cargo? So Chris answers, this should be the cumulative sum of all fleet's cargo. So yes. What about ships like the Chi that don't have cargo modules? Xcode answers, yes, the Chi has internal cargo space that will go towards the fleet's total. Economy. During the Star Atlas Town Hall, Michael Wagner and Chris, during the Town Hall that Michael was answering questions, Chris basically jumped into the economics channel and had a free-for-all, told the community, hey, jump in here and ask all the questions that you have on the economy. So the community took advantage of that, jumped in, and we got some very good questions and alpha. So one of the questions was, do we have to choose between sending crew out on ships to mine or stay in the base and craft? Chris answers, crew are only used in crafting for this version of Sage. And Shula chimed in also, exactly, you need a crew for crafting and also for piloting your fleet. So it's a resource assignment puzzle that the player has to solve. We have another one here. How will crew assignments work in the context of ship assignments? For example, I have 70 crew on my Maiden Heart. Do I need to send all 70 crew on the Maiden Heart to blow up asteroids? Or can I use some of them for crafting? Shula answers, for now it takes your full crew. We are designing to change that though, such as operating your Maiden Heart with 50 crew will incur a ship performance decrease, but that won't come soon. On Labs Rec, your ship needs your full crew in order to form a fleet with other ships. So we have that answer. So basically, you're going to want to have your mining fleets that's going out there, pew-pewing asteroids, and then you're going to want to have some other ships that maybe you hold back at the Central Space Station, and all they're doing is crafting. So, and maybe you can go back and forth, and switch out. So that's going to be fun to try to figure out what's the, what's the best way to min-max that. Next, we have claim stakes, power plants, space stations. Oh my. With all the changes and new roadmaps, how do CS power plants and space stations fit into Sage Labs /Rec in the near to midterm? Or is this all a UE5 thing? Chris answers, they will almost assuredly come after Labs during the full release of Sage. So the full release of Sage is supposed to be once we have combat and everything. So the team is saying that's probably going to be hopefully by the, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of this year, worst case scenario Q1. So we'll be able to use our claim stakes, power plants, and things like that. I wish they would have found a way to incorporate that earlier, because these assets have already been out there and bought. The mining ships came later, and immediately they're giving the mining ships some use, which is great. But I feel that they should have incorporated this maybe a little bit faster, but it is what it is at this point. Let's go on resources. Here's another really good one. Okay, so will any of the resources needed for crafting be limited to claim stakes, or will we be able to find everything through mining with ships? This actually came up last week when Bumphius, someone brought it up, and Bumphius said that's something that they're thinking about, maybe having ships that can mine on planets or certain resources that they can mine on planets. They were thinking about it, but it looks like they the team has decided. So let me go ahead and read this from Chris. Some resources will be exclusively available on planets. No ship can mine on planets, but CS claim stakes allow you to. As such, some resources will exclusive to either owning a claim stake of any size and using it to mine, or just purchasing basic resources off the marketplace. My plan as of now is to ensure that all resources needed to craft R4 will be available on asteroids, i.e. can be mined with ships, any assets in the game. This way we don't restrict earning your own R4 to people who own a claim stake. So the cool thing about it, no matter what, if you have mining ships but you don't have claim stakes, the way I'm reading this is that you'll always be able to make your own R4. So that won't be locked behind having claim stakes on a planet. So that's cool, and that makes perfect sense. So that's going to be it for what we have this week. Like I said, a very spicy week, but hang in there, folks. I think good things are coming ahead. Thank you for joining me this week, and I will see you next time. Rob Mega is out. Float the buoy.